Hey team, it's Russ. Welcome to Lawn Journeys. Wanted to share the install of my new Dynatrap Mosquito and insect catcher. As you guys may recall, I've had one or two videos in the past with my previous unit. I did have a breakdown with that, which we repaired. It was probably 8 years old. It recently failed, total electronic failure. Fans out, lights out, so I decided to purchase a new one. This particular model is the DT1050. I purchased it direct from Amazon. There is a reciprocal link below, or you can go to Amazon direct, type in DT1050. You can go to the Dynatrap website, and you'll also, which I will provide a link to, usually in the spring you'll see QVC and Home Shopping Network push these out in all different sizes. This particular model is rated for up to a ½ acre. So what we're going to talk about today is why you may want a Dynatrap mosquito and insect catcher, how to install the Dynatrap, how to maintain the Dynatrap, and also let's review the results. Am I catching mosquitoes and other nuisance insects? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how the Dynatrap works. As you guys know, and I will show, there is an ultraviolet light in here when this unit is operating. UV light is known to attract mosquitoes and other nuisance insects. It is recommended that you operate this 24 hours a day, day and night. The ultraviolet bulb is rated for 3,000 hours or approximately 4 months. It's not an expensive replacement piece. It's easy to replace. In addition to the ultraviolet light, the Dynatrap also generates carbon dioxide, CO2. How does it do that? According to the manufacturer, there is a titanium dioxide coating in the Dynatrap that undergoes a photocatalytic reaction with the ultraviolet light, which generates CO2. What I read online at the Dynatrap site is that this unit is rated for 3 to 4 years of operation. Now my other one lasted 8 years. So I'm curious if that 3 to 4 years of operation is really the time that it's going to generate the CO2 with the titanium dioxide coating. At some point that coating would be depleted from the reaction. That's my guess. If there's any other knowledgeable people watching this video, if you can confirm or deny, that would be useful. I would surely pin your comment to help other people who are watching this video. So we've reviewed the two attractants, as we know, the UV light and the CO2, which is why mosquitoes seek out humans and like to bite us and suck our blood out, the little vampires. But what happens is once they're attracted and they come through these little holes here in the Dynatrap, there's a fan running here. Now I've had this unit running, so there may be a couple bugs that are going to escape. But there is a fan running here that sucks the insects in and push them down into this catch cage, okay? And as you can see, there are a couple insects in there in this catch cage. They get pushed into here and they basically desiccate. They dehydrate, and that's the end of them. I see a lot of insects in here. I see a lot of moths. I had a fly in here earlier when I did an earlier take that came out. So that's essentially it. That's the trap. As far as installation goes, very simple. Dynatrap recommends that you install this 3 to 6 feet off of ground level. That's primarily where most of the nuisance insects thrive. As you guys know, if you ever had an upper level deck, a lot of times you don't get a lot of mosquitoes up there. It's always closer to ground level. They also recommend that you mount this 20 to 40 feet from your outdoor location where you're gonna hang out. So I sit here on my deck, on my at my table here. I'm going to locate this approximately 25 feet along the side of my house, which I'm going to show you in a second with some additional video that I've taken. As far as turning this on and off in this particular model, you just use this little thumb or finger panel here, and you can turn it one direction and you'll see it'll close it. That will turn the unit off. It turns the light off, it shuts the fan down, and also keeps any trapped insects from flying back up through the fan and escaping. Turn it back on, you just take that little thumb or finger screw and you turn it the other way. In the previous Dynatrap models, I'll open this up one more time, which you'll see if you look at one of my earlier videos, there used to be 2 little flappers in here, so when the fan was blowing, it would push the flappers down. The insects would come in. If it got shut off or the power failed, the little flappers were spring action, they would close. Over the years, they didn't flap quite as good. I think they got dirty, springs decayed, I don't know. But I noticed in this unit it's gone, and I think what they did is with this new finger action that opens and closes the Dynatrap, you can now shut it off and the bugs can't get out. So they remove those double flappers. Probably streamline the manufacturer. It's probably more efficient, and in addition, they recommend you run 24/7. So there's really no reason to shut it off. I guess if you mounted it in an area and maybe you were going to be away for a while and you wanted to preserve the UV bulb, you could shut it off while you're away. But as you know, as far as mosquitoes go, the more you catch, the better, because they have a life cycle. And if you keep them out there, they're going to continue to reproduce. So you want to keep catching them to try to decrease the population. Last thing I wanted to mention, that this is rated as waterproof. It can be out in the rain. You're going to see in another video clip where I've mounted this, and we're also going to listen to the fan. Lastly, before we conclude the video in a couple of minutes, we're going to review the catch cage here on a piece of white paper. We're going to zoom in and we're going to look at the insects. We're going to try to find mosquitoes. You're going to see flies. You're going to see moths. And we're going to see what proof is in the pudding. I'm not an entomologist. I've had a previous video out over the years, and there's been some debate as to what types of insects I've caught. I'll leave that to the professionals or to your opinion. Okay, team. So as you can see, the cord that comes with this, I'd say it's probably 6 foot. I can check the literature. It's recommended that you install this 20 to 40 feet from where you sit, I guess, or where you hang out. So I'm off the deck, and I'll give you a shot of that. But essentially really easy. I have a shepherd's hook here. I'm going to hang this guy up, and let's fire her up. There she goes. She's running. I don't know if you can tell, but the blue light is on, the ultraviolet light. The air's flowing. I'm going to hold my mic up to it so you guys can hear it. So that's on right now. So let's take a closer look at the unit. So you guys can see the ultraviolet light is on. Inside, we have the fan blowing. I can feel the air coming out. And she should be catching bugs. I also wanted to show you the proximity of where I've mounted the Dynatrap to my deck seating area, and that's approximately, I'd say 20 to 25 feet from the table. Okay, so here we are checking out the new Dynatrap at night. And as you can see, the ultraviolet blue light is lit. The fan is running. We have some insects inside, which we will reveal in a few minutes. All right, team. Proof is in the pudding. The new Dynatrap has been running for a couple days. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. You can see we have bugs in here. Obviously, some of them are still alive because I just shut it down and pulled the basket. So let's dump this. We're going to do a zoom and take a closer look and see what we've caught. So you can see there's some live critters in here still. So we knocked that out. So why don't you come a little closer and we'll check it out. As you can see, that is a mosquito right there. Okay. Here's another one. There's 2. I mean, they're all interspersed in here. Lots of mosquitoes, lots of moths. But I do see many small, here's another mosquito. Many small mosquitoes. They're throughout in here. I'm not an entomologist. Obviously we have moths. I did catch 2 small frogs. I have these little toads. They just got in there and desiccated and dried up, which is too bad. There's another mosquito over here. This one's still alive. He's over on the edge. I don't want to get bit. But I mean, tons and tons of insects here. I'm very impressed. Dynatrap is definitely collecting insects. All right, team. Whoa, that one just flew into me. He's an escapee. So, this new Dynatrap, doing the job. I'm running it 24/7. The bulb is good for approximately 3,000 hours. It'll take me 3 to 4 months running 24/7. It's an easy bulb replacement. When I do it, I'll maybe pop a quick video online, you know, maybe a short. I do like the new design. It doesn't have the flapper in here anymore. So with the fan running, I think you get a higher flow into the basket. So just to recap, the DynaTrap, it lures the insects using the UV light. There's a reaction with the UV light and the titanium dioxide coating, which produces CO2, which is supposed to be another attractant to mosquitoes and other insects. And then we have the fan, which continuously runs. It blows the insects into the cage where they desiccate and terminate. Okay, team, so we have the DynaTrap up and running again. She's doing her job. I can feel the air coming out. We confirm that it's catching mosquitoes, it's collecting moths, it's collecting flies and some other assorted insects. I'm happy with it. I'll definitely keep it running until we have a frost. I'll report back in the notes or do a follow-up video and let you know if I see a significant reduction in the mosquito population and or flies around my deck. Again, it's very hard to scientifically, I guess, prove that this is having an effect in my yard because there are a lot of variables. It depends on rainfall, depends on other mitigating measures that neighbors may or may not be taking. But if it continues to collect the insects, as far as I'm concerned, and it's collecting mosquitoes, it's helping. There are links in the show notes on where you can find this particular model and or other ones. Please leave some comments. Let me know if you have one, if it's collecting. This may be something that you want to consider even for this year, especially if you live in the South. I mean, your summer season could extend, I guess, all the way into November. Or some areas don't even get frost, so you may have insects all year. So this is definitely something that you could utilize in your backyard, or maybe if you have outdoor living and you have insects that get into your screen porch or lanai, this is something possibly you could hang in the corner of that to collect any insects that come in. So I want to thank you guys for sticking through the video, and I'll see you guys next time on Lawn Journeys.